church is open for public worship again, but we're not entirely back to normal. You must not come if you're showing symptoms associated with COVID-19, like a new continuous cough or a change in your taste or smell. But what we are doing is continuing access to live streaming. So you should be able to get the same service as anybody else, whether or not you come to church. It's not going to be like our 9:30 service, it's not going to be like our 11:15, it's not even going to be like the 8 o'clock. We can't sing, we can't share the peace, we can't have an offertory procession, we can't have service at the altar, we can't share books or leaflets, there's going to be no coffee, no milling around to talk with friends even. So what will it be like? I'm going to try and show you. Urged to wear a mask or a face covering. If you're not comfortable wearing a face covering, we're not going to require it, but it'd be good if you did to protect others. When you arrive, you may need to queue outside. Please keep a physical distance of 2 meters. And then you're going to come in through the porch. So these doors will be wide open. You won't have to touch anything to come in. When you do come in, then somebody will ask you whether you're willing to give your name and phone number for track and trace purposes. And if you are, that would be lovely. There's also our good plate where you can give by contactless with your card. If you're not able to give that way but you've brought an envelope, that's also fine. You can either leave it in this dish or put it in the safe in the wall. And then you can sanitize your hands. No, we've turned it off, but it'll be on the day. You can sanitize your hands. Elaine thinks it smells like tequila, so you can decide whether you think it smells like tequila. And then a warden's going to show you to your seat, I think, isn't that right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it might not be where you normally sit. I hope you'll be flexible. And what we're going to do is, if you're on your own, you need to sit 2 meters from anyone else, which means somebody can sit here on the aisle, and then somebody else can sit beyond the pew here. Now, if you've come as a couple, then you can sit together, but you need to still maintain. So if that was a couple sitting over there, then I would need to sit that much further away to keep the 2 meters. We have room for 30, and it may be that we'll fill up and not be able to accommodate everyone. I'm really sorry if that happens. But what the church wardens will do in that case is you can say to them that you'd like to come back at the end of the service, and I'll do a distribution of Holy Communion in the churchyard, if you like, for those who haven't been able to get in. So you just toddle on up the high street and watch the service on your phone. I hope. We're just trying to get the connection to work. And if not, we're going to record it and put it on the internet later, and come back for Holy Communion in the churchyard. Speaking of recording the service, let me just show you this camera here. If you sit forward of this camera, then there is a chance that we'll have the back of your head in the service on the internet. So you can sit back here if you don't want to be on. And when it comes time to communion, we're able to focus in on the stained glass window, so it won't show who's come up to communion. At your seat, there would be a service leaflet waiting, showing you where to sit, and also so that you know nobody else has touched that in 72 hours before you. And you need to take it home again with you when you go. And there'll be an insert in there with the notices and news sheet. If you've brought children, you need to sit together in your family, and so do bring a coloring page that we've sent you by email, or crayons and other quiet activities for your family. All of us, we mustn't sing We mustn't even say the responses in a loud voice. If you're staying at home, that's one of your advantages. You can go be as loud as you like. When it comes time to communion, we'll say the Amen to the words of distribution while still in our seats. You'll be ushered up row by row. And what I'd suggest is you take your mask off already here and just leave it on your seat. And then you come up keeping a 2-meter distance, and you can measure that by the pews because the pews are 2 meters apart. And then you'll sanitize your hands here and take the time to really, you're supposed to take 20 seconds, aren't you? But also, obviously, you don't want alcohol on your communion host. And then you come forward. We've not got any steps right now, you're just receiving from here, so everybody can come forward and hold out your hands, stretch them out if you can to keep the 1 meter distance, or bring your booklet with you if you want a blessing. I'll be wearing a face covering and I'll try to maintain 1 meter from you. I'll drop the communion host into your hands so that I've not touched your hands, and you're able to receive here. And then you're going to go back to your seat, round wherever you're sitting. You come back this way. Those of you that like to light a candle, then you can see already we've got the candles laid out. And for me, I could just come back here and then put my mask back on. As I say, there's no refreshments. Toilet facilities are really only available in cases of urgent need, and once you get outside, do please still maintain social distancing. That's a lot of things you can't do, but it is really exciting. I've talked to several people who are really excited about coming back into this space and being able to worship, being able to receive the sacrament, being able to worship corporately with a sense of worshiping corporately. So we really are looking forward to it, and whether you're at home or whether you're here in church, you're very welcome, and I hope you have a sense of the presence of God with you. God bless.